this is one page. That kind of tells the whole story. Right? Shows each municipal department how the budget is changing, how it's changing, whether it's controllable or non-controllable. So the total appropriation, budget appropriation is going up $1,051,944, which is a 9.3% increase. We've been able to offset that increase by increasing the revenue from delinquent taxes, which we notice a trend. We're getting a little bit more back. The number is because of the grants. You have an appropriation on one side, you have the revenue on the other side. So the $1,151,000 is grossed up by about $140,000 to recognize the grants and the bond premium that we received. And we just wanted to be fair in taking that, showing that growth. And you have to, under our budget system for the state of New Jersey, appropriations are in the right hand, revenues are in the left hand, and they shall never cross. So they just run parallel. So you see them as parallel. So what it means is that on a net basis, the tax levy is going up $758,000, or 1.99%. If we were to stay with what would be allowable under the statutory calculation of a levy increase, that increase would be 2.8%. And so we were able to reduce our spending from our original budget conversation about the workshop by about $500,000 in order to get it down to the 758. And what that means is that the absolute increase, not the statutory increase for this coming year, is 1.99% versus 2.8. What's important about that is that we were talking about an average household, that mysterious, elusive household that's about $316,000. That house would have experienced a $125 tax increase. Under this budget introduction tonight, that household would experience a $76 increase on the municipal budget. So it's about $50 less, which for all of us, and for all of you working together to try and make sure we do our best, is to live within our means and in fact manage our way through this. The things that were challenging for us are the things that have been challenging for us. We've had an increase in pension costs of almost $300,000. We've had an increase in our health insurance of $400,000. We've had an increase in our sewer charges of $107,000. And so, and we also had some other things that were in our budget. Some of the controllable budgets were able to go down a little bit. Others went up a bit. But all in all, it comes to $1,051,000 appropriation increase. So, all in all, I think we get to a point where, while we always try to continue to keep it again as low as possible, we were well within the requirements of the statutes. In fact, we're well below them. We did not. We're allowed under the appropriation side to increase our budget 3%. We're only increasing it 1.93%, so the difference of about 1.1%, we're allowed to put that into a cap bank and save that for the future in the event something extraordinary happens and we have to exceed the caps. So we've been fortunate that we haven't had the chance to do that, haven't had the requirement to do that, but we keep the bank in place in just the event that happens in the future. So we're off to a very good start. It's also important to point out that our state aid under CompTRA, which is a piece of our aid, we get $193,000. We also get aid in the form of the energy receipts tax for another $2,454,000. If you put that together, it's about $2.6 million. Those two components of our aid did not change. Those are the normal aid amounts that we get. We've been fortunate in that we've been able to get transitional aid under the light formula. And so last year we received $5.5 million worth of aid. We're able to anticipate 100% of that for this year. So we'll get another $5.5 million for this year. that's critical because it's helping us manage our way through. So as we work to look at the transition of the Roche property into the future, this is helping to manage the burden on the taxpayers. And so we go through that. Other than the pointing out the aid, other than recognizing that the receipts with delinquent taxes gone up a bit, overall revenues are about the same. Our budget does include an amount that's to be raised for the library, so while the total levy for 16 is 38.9 million, 1.2 million of that actually is for the library. So the net municipal levy portion is $37.7 million. So those are just some of the things that we worked from the budget workshop. We worked down basically being able to lower it by about $50.
Just one question I have on what you're including in controllable. Are you including any of the insurances in controllable?
No.
Then there must be an error in here because I know I'm flat from last year. So maybe in transition, somebody transposed the number, assuming on our side, I presume.
Yeah, the 15,
But
the
I
15
know,
I didn't.
yeah, because I know we were flat. We were up a little bit the first draft, but I do remember that on the second draft, we were absolutely uncontrollable.
Yeah, just to,
Yeah.
I know there was some allocation, things like some categories were short, so there may have been an adjustment related to that, I don't know. I didn't, well,
Well,
the 15, I wasn't really
yeah.
looking at that, because it's really not impacting too much rain, but figure it out.
Right,
You wanna-
yeah,
obviously
yeah,
you
I'll
wanna be
communicate
right.
with your department.
Yeah, that'd be
Because
fine.
I know it was zero, there was
It'll be
no
fine.
increase in controllables.
Yeah. That's it. Okay?
Okay, thank you.